signings, hanging out with fangirls. They're working hard, and they play more than most other teams, to be honest.
Yeah, I've been. I mean, for the most part, I've seen most teams like kind of walking around, like hanging out a bit, like chilling for like a little bit. But EG, I don't think these guys have left the room at all. They get meals all together.
It probably smells.
It probably does smell pretty awful in there.
5 seconds remaining.
DOTA success.
These guys have been non-stop fiending. Complexity, I think a couple of them have been playing a good amount of pubs, but for the most part, these teams just like, playing some scrims when they can, but filling out. Thanks for Cole, but EG, these guys are the super tryhards.
All right, well, Complexity, some target bans here. They're going to ban the Venom and the Drow first phase. Drow was getting through a lot yesterday, even against teams like Wings who love to run it. Warriors Gaming just basically refused to ban it. I'm more afraid of some of their other heroes, but it will get removed this time, and that leaves open a first overall pick.
10 seconds remaining.
Of course, EG have fantastic IO players. So.
Yeah. I think
5 seconds remaining.
Arguably two, yeah.
Exactly. I think the cool thing is that, they actually do go for the last strike. I was going to say, I think Cole's going to go for their last strike support, which they love, or they put it on Moo in like some type of pseudo aggro tri lane. It's something that they favor super heavily, and not too many other teams actually do. But I think the one thing with the Drow Ranger that I was kind of thinking about like yesterday is, this is the group stages, it's not like these things, no one gets eliminated in this, so maybe teams are just testing, seeing like how teams play with them, just like later on, and say, okay, can we deal with this, or can we not once we get to the main stage? That's kind of like the more important thing you get from these group stages, just information on these teams.
Well, I mean, if you want to play it standard, you see the Lifestealer for EG, I feel like. 2-Mail Storm is almost an auto ban at this point, given just how well they combo.
10 seconds remaining.
Granted, it doesn't have the Drow Aura, which they love to run with the Storm, but
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, it also pairs super well with the Wisp. Obviously, like in the laning phase, you're able to stack
You're using
whenever
up your
possible.
reserve
You can be
time.
pretty aggressive. You can step up, and obviously just throw your overloads with the Wisp movement speed and mana, and obviously overall healing potential from that. It just gives him strengthens his lane, because Storm does struggle a bit in the laning phase if he doesn't have like the greatest matchup and easy rotations to gank him, but Wisp enables him very hard in that laning phase.
So you see like IO Lifestealer, used to be, a lot of people felt like IO could be counterpicked, like Disruptor, Enigma, Void. They obviously already likely have their offlaner here in the Slardar, but anything in particular Complexity could target to try and shut down the IO pick?
Radiant team's turn to ban.
Kind of changing up the way they play versus it. We used to see, like you mentioned, we used to see the Enigma, the Tidehunter, these huge team fighters, but people kind of play around in a different manner now with the Wisp. They go for just like this lane dominance, always having like a TP, helping your lanes whenever possible. But Cole, what else have they been liking? Every time I see them, I feel like I always see like Oracle Lash, Oracle Marana, or it's like Oracle Kunkka. So Kunkka is probably a decent one. Probably the one that stands out the most for me out of the what Complexity likes to draft.
They do like to run some Naga here or there. The net's pretty good against Lifestealer. Of course, Psalm is good to deal with Relocate. So maybe that's something Complexity considers.
Probably a possibility.
They will ban the OD now. So I mean, OD, a hero that was like automatic first phase ban, especially before the Omni Knight nerfs, was a real
10 seconds remaining.
Still very strong, but has been slipping through a little more into the second third phase as of late.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Dire team's turn to pick.
He's just too strong. I still feel like with the Astral, he gives you too much to the table. It just makes it too easy to play around. He's just such a solid laner. Yeah, he's just a solid hero. He doesn't really have to do anything out of the ordinary. He's an OD kind of there.
10 seconds
remaining. And it pairs super well with the Lifestealer, and it's pretty hard to draft counters to it. You have to focus too much on these. If you have to focus on the OD, then you're not focusing enough on the Lifestealer to counter them. So.
Reserve time.
Now the third pick, they can really start to put their cards on the table. He said almost certainly a support and an offlaner here, but 100% confirmed, I suppose. Well, technically speaking, anyway. They're going to grab the Slark now.
Turn to pick.
Slark, a pretty good matchup against Lifestealer. Good hero to hunt the IO and find him hiding in the trees, maybe deal with the split push a little bit. Also not an easy relocate target.
But third pick, I mean, that's very early. You leave them a lot of options to be able to grab heroes that can obviously have heavy AoE
10
burst,
seconds remaining.
Easy lockdown for him in a way.
They haven't picked their second support.
5 seconds remaining.
Like a Disruptor to counter this.
Yeah. I mean, there's still the big team fight too. There's Warlock. Probably won't see it because that's not really Wisp Warlock doesn't sound like the most keen.
Dire team's turn to pick.
Going for a early Spirit Breaker. This is interesting.
Good vehicle for the Lifestealer, and How sure are you this is a support Spirit Breaker? It seems like that's the main way we have seen him, but is there any chance of something different?
It could definitely be the
seconds
off-lane
remaining.
Spirit Breaker, because he can obviously break out of the leash from Slark if he's like laning in that manner.
5 seconds remaining.
He trades auto attacks pretty well with melee heroes.
I think it leaves it open a bit, and it's just obviously, you know, like that tracker. You want to have that tracker for the Slark in like later stages on.
Also, good vision hero to set up the IO relocates with the charge. So.
Easy to set up the ganks. Yeah, you can set up the gank with the Lifestealer and Spirit Breaker. You can bring 4 heroes pretty much an instant with the charge.
It's a party!
Yeah, instant parties.
Yeah, definitely possible. So Complexity, 4th pick now. They have plenty of late game here. They have decent Roche potential. Not the strongest lanes, though, with the Slark opening. Even Leshrac does a lot of damage, but very squishy as far as support.
So they're going to pick another fish, right? Because they have Slaughter and Slark already. What's another fish? Is there even another fish in Dota?
Tidehunter, right?
I guess I kind of count.
I mean, he's a nasty fish. I wouldn't recommend eating.
I think they need something to at least deal with the Spirit Breaker charge. Like, you can't just let him get his charges off every single time. Maybe something like a Rubik pairs pretty decent with the Leshrac. It's obviously not great versus these 3 heroes, but he's able to at least deter away from the charge, and he's able to set up decently for the Lesh.
So where have Complexity had their most success, would you say, as a team? Is it, to me, like, from what I've seen, it feels like it's mostly been individual performances where, you know, Z-Freak just goes off on a really high impact support, or Cancel has a really strong individual showing. I think
it's between those 2 guys, honestly. Those 2 are the big powerhouses for me right now at the moment.
Dire team's turn to ban.
For that team, but
so they grab the Abaddon.
That one's very curious to me.
It's not like an obvious Abaddon game. I guess the Spirit Breaker gives you some stuns you can debuff, but...
You can move open wounds in laning phase too, so maybe they want to do a dual lane with the Slardar Abaddon just to be able to pressure the Lifestealer a bit.
It's
not like, I don't know, like a Mirana and some other, like, you know,
5
reliable
seconds
stun
remaining.
that you want to be able to counter with the shield, or a big silence, for example.
And I mean, this is so perfect.
Radiant
for EG.
team's
like,
turn to
you're playing
ban.
as a Slark, and you have a Spirit Breaker Darkseer running at your face in your lane, like, so much pressure on you. And Slark's a hero that you want to just kind of free farm. I mean, there's obviously like the MVP-esque thing that they do where they put like the Slark in the mid lane, but no other team really does that.
And someone is going to have a shit lane, because it's either Slardar or Slark there. Neither of these heroes wants to lane against the Spirit Breaker Darkseer duo.
5 seconds remaining.
Definitely, you can't really, I guess you could try Slark mid depending on the matchup, but against Sumail, almost certainly...
Reserve time.
Especially because he's likely to have a more of a mid lane dominator.
Yeah. Both teams saving their mid laners. It's kind of something that we've been seeing happen for like the past couple months. They just want to get the great matchup for the 2 of them.
And Complexity will get the counter pick here. They'll have last overall, so EG will have to put their cards on the table first.
I like obviously it's a single card Lifestealer if they do this, but Puck still looks pretty decent for EG. It's very good versus the Slark, obviously with the Silence, good versus Abaddon, great versus Leshrac with the Burst, and it pairs very well with Darkseer Spirit Breaker to kind of like this wombo combo and easy setup.
It makes them very gank heavy though, because like their only way to kill buildings is that Desolator Lifestealer build.
Oh, okay.
They will go for someone who scales better in late game and gives them more tower siege. Grab the Alk, which has been kind of a star-crossed pick for EG.
Yeah,
put it mildly.
Maybe they didn't want to deal with Alchemist either. Maybe
they're like,
we don't want to ban this, but you know, we don't want to play versus Alchemist, but we can play with it. We're
gonna figure out how to win with this hero no matter what. Yeah. Starting in the groups.
That's probably
5 seconds remaining.
We lose every time we play with or against Alchemist. We got to learn at some point. So it's a good pickup here. It gives them more scale potential.
Remaining.
Gives them more, but obviously the D-push as well if it gets
5 seconds remaining.
If Complexity is able to win a fight, Leshrac always like that kind of big one that is able to take towers very easily. And now it's a Mirana pickup for Cole, so that's probably cancels here on the mid lane. But still, it looks kind of weird because Cole doesn't really have a team fight. Well, EG has obviously Darkseer, which is the king of team fight, and then they even have Spirit Breaker on top of that with the Wisp to follow up. So they have the mech on Darkseer, they have the double heal coming in with the IO, whoever he's tethered with, and they have farming monsters and many different gang setups, while Complexities is a bit more limited.
Yeah, Complexity are pretty good at dodging ganks, though, between the Slardar Sprint and Blink Dagger. Hopefully he is able to farm it. For their sake, not a great target to go on, and Mirana has 2 escapes of her own, so at the very least, they're not particularly easy to punish. But that said, this Leshrac might have a run.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of lockdown on EG, but it's going to be like this. It's like the Spirit Breaker is able to really he's able to catch pretty easily versus the Slark and the Mirana.
It's a really good Spirit Breaker game too. Like, what reliable ways do you have to actually We cancel it.
Oh, it's a core Abaddon. So it's a support Slardar.
Prepare for battle.
Okay, I actually thought it was gonna be the core Slardar and the support Abaddon in the lane, but okay. So they're going for this. And they have a lot of. They're gonna want to just get a lot of levels on the Abaddon so he can at least heal off the damage and everything, and maybe give them a bit more push potential if he goes for the Curse of Avernus. Is it missing? I think mine's there. Is it? I think mine's there.
Yours is there, but mine's not.
He's
Let's see, does stream have game sound? I guess that's better.
Yeah, that's probably the more important thing.
Guys, just yell at us if you
Just yell at us if you don't have game sound.
So.
Yeah. Should be just fine, but...
Luxy going to start things off here with the 5-hero smoke.
Boots on the Slardar.
Are going to be revealed now. Arteezy.
Zai and Arteezy both in position to scout that out.
30 seconds to battle.
Too busy talking about me all tapping, but that should tell me if you have sound. So, they do get down a hill ward in the mid lane, so they'll be able to, obviously versus the Mirana, having that ward is very important. The arrows, and I guess it is going to be a core Mirana, so a little bit less likely to cheat. Directly tank. No sound. No sound. See, now because I asked them, I'm not sure if they're trolling.
They might be trolling.
Mistakes I made.
Yeah.
This ain't
Abby
no
contesting up to
snowball
the top
fight.
lane. But EG's on position, they have the double ion
The
shell.
prize is mine.
Oh my god, cancel almost just straight dies. Auto attacks. Playing the bounty.
That ion shell, though, does a lot of work, but no bounty run at level 1 for Sumail, so worth it, definitely worth the cost of a...
Yeah, I mean, this is still a tough matchup for the Mirana, in my opinion. Alchemist is just able to, like, free farm. Like, that's just what the Alchemist does. He obviously just throws axes straight down, he gets his Grievous Greed, gets 4-man shield. Once the 4-man shield's up, it's pretty much impossible for the Mirana to harass him out of lane. Especially since we'll probably be the Wisp, like, running around between, like, the mid and bottom lane, just able to heal up stack as much as possible. Try to see Zai not starting top, though.
I'm gonna go for a TP back here, Universe, just to the tier 1. He rotates the jungle early. And they're gonna be running the crit Arteezy dual lane, so I'll quite likely to move around depending on where he's needed, but for now, Sumail with the early stuff with Falling Blade. It's Mirana, should do pretty well as far as the point goes. This is a 1v1.
Yeah, cancel that. Like he got super harassed at the bottom lane. We're getting some pressure, but shields off. He opens
a bash? Bash. Yeah, he has the oof though. Like if they get a bash into the tether slow with the oof, I think that's quite likely a kill at this stage.
Yeah, I actually expected both teams to kind of do like the dual off lanes, like the Spirit Breaker starting in top and the Slardar starting bottom. But the one beauty is that Darkseer can jungle much easier than the Abaddon. So I guess that's EG's thought process is, just bring 3 heroes bottom, zone the Abaddon as much as possible, and he's kind of just stuck in this weird position where he can't go anywhere.
And along with that, I think just an adjustment to the fact that it's not playing Abaddon in general. As perhaps not initially expecting it, but certainly ready for it. We did see Volta do this a lot.
Obviously, free Kong for Courier Snipe.
Yeah,
Look
gonna
at
get
that.
it.
Radiant's courier just got killed.
Slardar. What do you even call this thing? Smack.
Tentacle Smack.
What the hell is that? A fish head.
It's a grasping bludgeon.
I think it actually fights its spray. It has like a mind of its own. We'll continue to pressure monkeys, and he is running pretty low on mana, but so far getting his levels, he's doing alright, all things considered. Universe, though, definitely getting the upper hand here as far as the experience goes. Able to TP out, rotate back, and again, this is just a weakness of the complexity draft. They don't have anyone that really deals particularly well with the Darkseer as far as like a safe lane farmer goes.
Yeah, it's still hard for him to really lane up there. If he gets hit by pretty much 1 stun, 1 leash from the pounce, he's kind of screwed. But yeah, he's just jungling. That's just what the hero. That's the beauty of having that hero wall. Abaddon can't really do that unless he goes straight Iron Talon like first item.
And if you do that, then you're going to be greedy in the jungle with their support.
Yeah, exactly. Then they can just have free movement. But yeah, mid lane already. Sumail pulling pretty far ahead, 15-2 to the 8-0 Mirana.
Sumail having a good time here, canceled, definitely struggling a bit. Went for the Bassi build, which we've seen Envy doing. I guess it's gaining a little more popularity with other players, but still mostly an Envy special. They're going to rotate Z-Freak down bottom, but so far he's been very ineffective in the early roaming. Hasn't been able to set anything up, and
got the courier at least though. That's kind of big.
That's true. He did get it. He did courier, but not really putting pressure on these lanes. You can see EG farming very well as a result.
Yeah,
it's a support Slardar. Like, what are you really going to do?
Exactly. He definitely recognized that he needs to help out his buddy bottom. Cancel. Get him charged up mid. They see it though, so he throws the arrow down and yeah. Zai stops the charge.
You see the charge, I guess the arrow's still an okay with it. Depending on the end. Zai's still threatening to come in. He'll settle down a little bit for now. Z-Freak trying to cut Zai off. Actually, the mana but doesn't stick charges, so can charge out of here. Need be. They've only got one way to interrupt it, not put enough mana for the arrow, but they're gonna have to combo soon. Rush an arrow available. What's the arrow? Oh, and Zai says, nah, just kidding. And this might be a first blood. The touch comes in again, not gonna matter. Cancel, leaping forward from the arrow. He will get it. He can get Zai as well. It might be a double. How many bashes will Zai get? He's gonna need like 2 or 3 at least. He gets 1, then the charge. 1 more should do the
double kill.
Oh, he doesn't get it. Cancel will survive. And he gets away. He's even there to help Monkeys out, though. Arteezy sidestepping the arrow as well. Chase Monkeys a bit further.
RNG rune right there.
Yeah, that was a game saver.
Definitely was. I mean, he's suffering quite heavily in the laning phase, but getting that rune, picking himself 2 kills up. That's one way to make your starter
tower is under attack.
Like, a bit relevant in the laning phase. Even though he dies, he does pick up your 2 kills for his mid laner. Definitely important.
And they really needed that because cancel 14 CS to the 27 of Sumail, and it's not like Sumail's got all that much help yet. In the lane. So that was the South's still a concern, but at least Mirana being relevant as far as network goes.
Yeah, the support's now Complexity making the move, so this is Universe's time to shine, make the move toward the top lane. It's already level 5. An early pointed vacuum. Interesting. Not level 3 Iron, so maybe he used the vacuum to stack a camp or pull or whatnot with that. But yeah, also to note out, Complexity was stacking a bunch in the jungle, so they do have a big triple stack up at that hard camp for Moo to accelerate his farm once he gets to that point.
Yeah, definitely something that Slark can take advantage of. Let's go for the Iron Zai charges onto Swindle, also directly into the Diabolic Edict. Pay for that. It's caught between a rock and a hard place there with the Mirana direct pincer move, but Complexity showing a lot of aggression and now going to begin tri-laning it. They've dropped the lane where they don't want this out to free farm. Could be setting up for a dive, though he has Chemical Rage available.
He's 6 with a raindrop. That's a pretty tough kill.
They recalibrate, seeing that he does have level 6.
Definitely a lot of emphasis though. You're actually putting 1 mid lane ward and 1 behind the tower bottom lane. It's gonna be his
no TP. Already shielded before the elbow wound, so that's not even counting for the charge. But they could move in and catch Chris. Plus here looking at his death. Looks like this Swindle's coming in, follow-up stun available, gets the kill. Now he's going away to RTP. Overwound for some kind of has good advantage. Swindle's running in, and it's like Shadow saving up. They might even be able to move back in on the Zai if he's not careful. A crush here.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And this time they know open wound is ready. Would be a death. The Balash ranks, so not take them.
Denied.
Nice aggression though. They're definitely trying to make the moves as much as possible. They know this is kind of the way you have to play versus an alchemist. You know, he can't really get involved early on, so you just put as much aggressive movement as possible, and they're very smart with their warding too. They even put another one bottom lane, so yeah, just heavy amounts of aggression from them. Keeping an eye on what's going on from EG. They even spot out this humongous 4 stack that EG was bringing up with the Wisp in the bottom lane. And even EG puts down a river ward, and it's actually already instantly countered by the sentry. Well, it's there, but they haven't killed it just yet.
Yeah, unfortunately, Z-Freak already planted it. I'm not sure he's even going to notice. Kind of busy pressuring Sumail, who was about 1,000 gold, closing in on that armlet. So overall, Yannis, with the back and forth of the laning stage, you have a free farm Slark on one side, 3 cores doing really well on the other, kill advantage for Complexity. It is a slight lead for EG, but like overall, as far as gold goes at least, overall, are you happy here with the Slark Complexity if you're on their side, or do you feel like they have to get more done against that?
I think they're doing an okay job. The biggest concern for me is the Sap. He's only level 4 in his bottom lane. He's at level 5 now, so I think he's struggling just a bit too much. They want to have him in a better position, and Z-Freak now might be just dying to support Universe surging in as well.
The classic neutral deny. There is no vision. Z-Freak might just be able to TP away. Universe with that 1-pointed vacuum could be the hero.
Dyer's middle tower isn't going to last long.
Plan gets away. Meanwhile, Swindle moving up to Sumail.
Radiant's top tower has looked better.
Yeah, well, once the force up to
Dyer's
Raid, I
middle
suppose.
tower
But
is
Zai
under
also
attack.
gonna make his move in. Swindle's with the haster and the carry away. That's
Radiant's
fantastic.
top tower deserves just as much help as bottom.
Yeah, the Madden, like you said, is not getting full.
one thing I thought Mu would actually do is, you know, go for that
Radiant's
rush
top
Shadow Blade.
tower
Obviously,
has
like,
looked
getting
better.
it first is the obvious thing
Radiant
he's gonna do, but
fortified
he's
their
picking up a lot of
structures.
small items. Finishes up the treads, obviously finishes up the Iron Talon, pretty sure that one's just core, but even finishing up the Ring of Aquila, and now he's bringing out a Magic Wand on top of it. So, he's not gonna have that, like, 12-minute Shadow Blade to be able to pressure that early. He's going for, like, just maybe one or too many small items, but he does have the farm, the stack to at least accelerate his farm a bit and then be able to get involved. But
I mean, you look at the rest of the lineup, fighting early feels natural, right? You've got Slardar, Nevada, Mirana. These are all heroes that can get involved, even Leshrac to support that needs to, but he really is their only late game as a... I mean, Mirana's okay, but not great at killing single targets, and you have an Alchemist and a Lifestealer with Rage who has a lot of ways to deal with magic damage, so it's going to be Slark who deals with those heroes later on. Obviously not rushing a big item. Just put a bit of more of a ceiling on his late game.
yeah, I mean, it's not terrible for Call though, because also the Wisp and the Spirit Breaker are super under level. This Spirit Breaker is only level 3. Wisp is level 4, not even close to 5, or kind of close to 5. It's, you know, like missing 400 experience, but Complexity trying to put some pressure on RTZ here, but that's a very tough kill. They have to land the cross
Radiant's
to an arrow.
top tower deserves just as
But
much
yeah,
help as
the thing that
bottom.
opens up though is for them to steal the stack. This is a huge move for Complexity here for sure.
They're gonna find it now with the shield on Monkeys, level 6 short. Getting so much needed experience. Also, Z-Freak on the Slardar was only level 4 at 10 minutes coming in. That's quite low for
Someone
him.
better help
Look at
Dyer's
that
middle
pressure, really heavy right
tower.
now. He gets the TP, but he gets vacuumed.
That one point in vacuum could be his downfall, but now also the Moonlight Shadow and EG still not carrying detection.
Dyer's middle
Twice
tower
in a
isn't going
row
to last
now.
long.
They've been hoodwinked by the Mirana of Cancel, and if this happens a third time, I'm pretty sure some heads are gonna roll.
Dyer's top
Yeah,
tower
that's
is under
actually
attack.
huge. Like, they committed a lot to try to get him there, but the one thing they do get out of it is, you know,
Dyer's
this is a
snow
smart move, very
fortified
smart
their
move by RTZ.
structures.
They see all the pressure coming down in the bottom lane, and this is just like,
Are
this is
those
standard
cracks
now,
in
pretty much for the
Dyer's
majority
top
of teams.
tower?
My safe lane's getting pressured, I'm out. I'm going to your safe lane.
Used to be people would try to defend it, but not the case anymore.
They're
It's kind of
beating
just
on
like,
Dyer's top tower.
defending that tower, defending the
Radiant's
safe lane for
bottom
one is
tower
like,
is
it's a
under
pinch.
attack.
There's
Radiant's
too many
bottom
entrances to
tower
be able
has
to like
fallen.
contest with that. You have to pretty much have your entire
Dyer's
team there.
top
to defend.
tower is under
They don't
attack.
they don't want someone else to get involved. Like, he's just
Dyer's
armored.
top
All
tower
he needs
is
to do is really just get
gone.
that
Just a cold
radiance
fog
online.
left
He's got his armlet.
behind.
He's having a great time already.
Yeah, 2,600 in net worth sitting at, 2,600 gold bank sitting at 7,300.
Radiant's middle
That would be
tower
pretty bad
could
if your
use
mid
some
health
help.
is close. They are not going to move towards you now. He has Chemical Rage online. They're scouting him out. They're going to move over to all the
Tower
Chemical
shouldn't
Rage.
have to be
Almost the Swindles are going to chain this with an arrow, not even close to scratching that out. And now they just want to get the hell away. Monkey's proper in position. He can draw the shield. They can re-engage on squishier supports, but even Universe arriving. So 4 heroes to the lane. And not there. There's Arteezy just relaxing in the top lane, has his own armlet completed. Moo will just be duking out for a while. Really want to apply the pressure here in the mid lane though. This tower is about to be in deny range now as Cancel continues chipping away. Arrow having a fish, Sai can get crushed
Radiant
now.
structures
Last
have
hit
been
though,
snow
not
fortified.
happening as the glyph gets popped. Crit trying to deny this tower. In the meantime,
Radiant's
the
bottom
grenade
tower is
Zai
not
gets hit by the double star strike.
dominating.
Might end up going down in Cancel finds the kill. The
Radiant
tower
just
is denied by
denied the
Cancel.
mid
Wasn't
tower.
working. He might die too. Where's Arteezy? He's still forming the top lane. Now the tether out. Crit being pursued though. Angry
Not much
Fish
good's
on the
happening to
case
Radiant's
and in a lot
bottom
of trouble.
tower.
Surged away by Universe, but getting body blocked at the same time. Sprint has worn off.
Mega
Taking out
kill!
even
Double
Donnelly.
kill! Radiant's
Through the
bottom
heart
tower
of
is
the
under
ball of
attack.
light. Great snipe there by Cancel. Only now does Arteezy arrive and it's to the bottom lane where he'll make short works with. Yeesh.
Oh,
Alright.
Cancel's in some trouble right now. He does have the Moonlight Shadow, but he's charged up right now. Do they have the dust?
Yeah, that third time will not be the charm. They got good mileage on the too. So still a bit of a support tax even when they do this.
Very keen on keeping the aggression up though. It's starting to work out a bit, like quite well for them. Of course, not able to kill the Alchemist, and this is going to be the big problem for them.
Someone
but at
better
least they're
help
dealing with the
Dyer's
other
middle tower.
factors. And then once Mu
Radiant's
gets
top
his
tower
Shadow
is under
Blading, once
attack.
Cancel's able to like isolate the Alchemist, then maybe they can burst him down. But I think they're still going to really struggle to kill him. It's gonna be like, it's gonna be like this Alchemist just gets his timings, and then that's like, how do they really deal with this? Because how do they really deal with an Alchemist just throwing illusions out of the lanes with the Radiance? Who really is able to just split push? Spark's decent at clearing waves, so is Mirana, but is it enough?
Brett, quite a bit of trouble here. Move could pursue, could even commit the ultimate if he wants to die for this. He's gonna leap forward. 2 more auto attacks to get the job done. He is going in, but he's being charged. Zai able to usher him away. Close call there for Crit, though, who really wants to get the relocate online. Monkey's moving here top now, working towards the flats. How do you feel about the Abaddon pick overall?
Radiant's
has it
top
gotten enough done
tower
for you?
has looked better.
Do you like the way Complexity are running it? A lot of early
Dire's middle
skirmishes, not
tower
really getting
isn't
too
going
much
to last
farm.
long.
I think they grabbed it just so
Radiant
they can
have
kind of
fortified
like
their
fall off as a
structures.
unit and just kind of take towers. I think this is where it's
Radiant's
to shine.
top
He
tower
definitely
has
struggled a bit
fallen.
more in the lane phase than they would have
Dire's
liked,
bottom
but
tower is under
they got
attack.
all 3 tier 1s down, so and he wasn't even really there for him, so I don't really feel like he's like having the effect that they wanted it to. But maybe into like the later stages, just being able to shield off a couple like open wounds, shield off the stuns, shield off the charges, it might be better. But comparing that to a Darkseer, I think the Darkseer just kind of fits the suit for EG just much better than it does for the Abaddon from Complexity.
Meanwhile, EG just not only farming on their Alchemist, but Arteezy. He's hardly been in any fights, just constantly bouncing from lane to lane. Desolator really complete, and this will give them some.
Well, this is a great smoke by Complexity here.
They are going to scout out Sumail. Let's just move for now, but he's got the night vision advantage. Sumail has not seen him just yet. Move. Really playing with that night vision. Excellent forward there, and now he makes the jump onto Sumail. Chemical Rage activated. They're still looking to chase, though. The smoke wrap round comes through. Right past Arteezy. They're going to look to go ahead and he raises off the damage immediately. Now Zeke getting the trees looking for the iron. They might get the Arteezy grab.
Double kill.
Player's bottom tower is being chipped away. Great individual play by EG. Will they make it out though? Alone and dead. They still get the kill on the Alchemist. Now Sprint trying to escape, but they'll definitely TP for 10 seconds. Once an amp hits him, he
Double
too
kill.
will fall. Doesn't even need the crush, Z-Freak, and the kill. I mean, EG took that pretty cutely. It's not.
Out of my way.
That was a really good rotation by Complexity. Like Moo, kind of like you're mentioning, he was just kind of like playing with Sumail a bit with the night vision, and then the rotation from Complexity from the mid lane smoke. That was a very clever movement. Arteezy does get out, which is the one detriment to him, but get a couple kills, which is great. Now mid lane Arteezy might get hit by the stun. Oh, just
Swindle's just barely missing.
Not much good's happening to Radiant's bottom tower.
Now charging in, Z-Freak ready to interrupt the charge. Good setup there. The call comes through. The brothers start to lay in design. They want to kill this sweet boy off, and they will do so. At the same time, though, Smooth Slice will fall. And that's the bigger loss for sure. A 1-for-1. Complexity, away.
Yeah, that hurts though. Like you can feel how under the gun Complexity feels in this game. They really need to constantly keep running at them, but the Alchemist is still just getting his farm on. Even Arteezy's doing a really good job. Just keeping his farm really far ahead. He's almost got his Desolator finished up on top of the armor. So that's going to be their, their building hitter. Instead of going for that Echo Saber this game, he just feels like he needs to kind of just
Dire's
press
middle
it
tower
over
is
that.
falling.
His rage is on peak for 5 seconds. He's going to be doing fast.
Or maybe a tether. Rage off the zap damage. Then there's the relocate out. Will they reset and try to take the fight? The wall was already committed previously by Universe.
Max on cooldown, but they look keen to fight. Zai is charging in.
Concoction enough. Zone Complexity away. Arrow not going to connect. Well, back off. Just the threat of that big team fight will scare them. And so Moo, after buying the Shadow Blade, does go down. 1-1-1. So far, not a big impact on Slark. We're going to move into the Roshan pit. And they take a big fight here, though, Yadi. So you mentioned that their team fight isn't the strongest. They still don't have the Ags here. EG came, it could be a dire situation. But it doesn't appear EG know, or at least they want to.
It's a little bit hard to fight into Cole's lineup just in that segment without that potential. And also, Zai's having a pretty rough game. He's got just level 7, no items really on him. The Wisp as well, just Boots bottle.
It's alright, they'll feed him an egg and later.
Yeah, that'll be the nice thing too. That's the great thing about having this Alchemist. And that's the strategy that they're going for. When you pick an Alch, that's kind of what you know you're getting into. He's just going to run around farm, and really a lot on Sumail and Arteezy this game in comparison to everybody else on the side of EG. With Universe, you know he's going to get his job done. This is a Universe Darkseer.
God, imagine a Universe Darkseer with 7 item slots. That's pretty scary.
Yeah. Top lane, Z-Freak. Looks like it might be his demise here.
With the charge in, the crush attempted by Z-Freak. Don't get it off the last failure to do so. He will definitely die. Easy even being relocated into the frame. Monkeys is there. And
Radiant's bottom
a bit
tower
of chase
is
already
no
turned the open
more.
wounds. Backing off. As mentioned, did go for the Desolator. They're gonna relocate back to the mid lane. Crit drops them off. Taxi done its job for the day.
Yeah, that was like
They did a lane or a jungle war down wall that was all happening.
That was like a nice little movement, nice little double movement by them. They net a kill and they get the vision down, but Mu is aware of it, pinging out on the high. They're kind of around the area, but he didn't find it exactly. If Swindle's able to find it with the second sentry, and he is.
Someone better help
That is definitely crucial with the Slark. You're dealing with an IO, right? You mentioned also there's the Infest Bomb, there's the long range charge, the really 4 heroes can show up. You have BOTs and out, maybe all 5 can even come. You need to make sure you keep the vision advantage, and that's where the Slark really comes in handy.
Big question to me is this enough? And I still don't think it is. This Alchemist is still just farming out of control. He's getting close to his Manta style, and that's when it's just become like almost impossible because they don't really have anything that can just like okay, Murata and Slark can kind of force the lanes out, but then who's their hunter? They need this blink on Zephyr in order to really be able to go for those access points of killing Sumail with like a couple different rotations because they need to bring like 3 heroes actually to kill that Alchemist and make sure that the EG is not really in the area.
EG are actually up almost over 5,000 gold, and they're down 2 towers. So, when you imagine at some point the tower score is going to equalize, suddenly they're up closing in on like 8,000 gold. Nearly a 10k advantage with the Alks rate of farming. By the time they get those towers, could well be the case. So,
this is where
it doesn't feel like they're getting it. So.
Yeah, this is where they get a good amount more map control on the side of EG. Met style finish. He just gonna be able to throw illusions, cut 3 waves. Now, bottom lane, easily brought down.
Right for the reload fade, not going to work out. And now the chase on design. They amp him up, he's got to charge away, and it will bash Zephyr because he tries to get in range. Straight on towards mid. I imagine when he can't at some point there's a leap into an arrow, but arrow. This is where space created. Sumail farming the enemy woods, Universe farming top.
Yeah, they should give Zephyr a place to farm. Just finish up that blink. He's so close. Yeah, definitely gives them opens up a big option for them to be able to get kill everybody else even. Like they can just ignore the Alk for a bit and just keep fragging and then get to the point where they can deal with him. But still, definitely very difficult to go for him.
With like enough time, it does feel like they have that opportunity. Zai is going to charge into right down the turn comes though quickly. Zai will be brought down. Arteezy to back away. So support for support, and unfortunately, Fearbreaker down again.
Cracks in Dire's top tower.
Yeah, another death for him. But I guess, like we talked about, he has the comeback mechanism with the Ags, and that is not available to this.
He is trading deaths for swindles.
Secret strategy for EG. Put Swindles on tilt.
Yeah, Swindle's kind of doing his job though. Like he's been pretty good at like following around the rotations, getting the stuns off with his brother Z-Freak. And now this is good timing now. He got the blink dagger on Slaughter, maybe a little bit later than he wanted, but he opens up the map a little bit to them with that Slaughter running around with the Shadow Blade.
So I imagine we will see the Octarine next for Sumail.
Yep.
We need some armor items versus the Slardar going late game.
Yeah, definitely just like the kind of the standard, right? The Octarine and the Secret Guard, usually we just see pick up. Mu, going for a solo pick up on the trip. His buck, nobody's here. He's actually completely alone. He's got the agent, he's got the
people here, and now Mu in a lot of trouble. He's going to commit the ultimate, tries to run away. Shadow dancing out. Pouncing as well. He does have the Apes. They can reset around or go around the big fight. But only if the team gets in position first. The arrow crashes in. Pretty connected. Arteezy ball is great. He doesn't get much done. Z-Freak's going to let the guy around the rear. Big explorer charged by Zai who delivers this phase. There's this one. Still hold the agent. The crunch comes through on the screen. Great call. They focus on Universe. They will do, and suddenly Cancel arrives. Make it a 2 for 2. EG on the right side scrambling out. Arteezy though getting the job done for now. Takes the habit on the leads. Now they engage. A 2-hero stun from Sumail, but instantly Dark takes off. We're gonna try to bring him down, but just very slow, ineffective. The agent, I believe, expired during this time. Now he's gonna pounce out. He tries to run, unable to pursue over the tree line, but they get the charge. And heavy Shadow Blades there. Oh, so close to dying. He wants to go back in. Moon's gonna come in for them. He gets the kill. But the concoction takes him down. Was it worth it?
They got Arteezy. You know, there's a 4 for 4 trade, but like we're saying, this is the Alchemist's power. They really don't have anything to do. Oh, he's gonna get a streak kill on Swindle here. Oh no.
Dining on Dire's top tower.
Cash money.
A little too easy.
It's like a creep. Casual farm right there.
Yeesh.
That's like.
I mean, that's the thing to keep in mind, right? It's like Alp didn't even really get damaged that entire fight, and they had an Aegis, although I believe it expired mid-fight. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely unfortunate for them losing that. Mu would have lived at least in the end of that, and it would have been like a pretty decent trade 4 for 4. But problem is now Boy Alchemist has his Octarine. And now, you know, like you said, he wasn't even scratched at all in that last team fight. How are they going to really deal with him now? They don't have anything to deal with.
Don't have the best single target until quite late when Slark is really farmed.
Yeah, like Cancel can't do a good amount of burst, obviously, with the double stun ball. And obviously once you get the Ethereal Blade on top of that, he has a good amount of single burst, but an Alchemist can kind of deal with that, especially at this point. 2500
Dyer's middle tower isn't going to last long.
Not to mention they have an IO
Radiant's courier has been
killed.
killed.
Courier by Cancel, but can he make it out? Suit a bit. Team sweeping in to engage and outcrit, feathering his way back towards safety, but Moo's still first, they're going to get the F damage. Spirit's actually hitting Moo, and that immediately prompts the things and the sentry plan. They know that someone's area. Barely built up together a D-ward.
Dyer's middle tower has been denied.
He did go for the Bastion. I think this is just a build that he does. He likes to go for the Vlad is kind of like the standard, the Bastion. I think feel like they need a little bit more lockdown, more reliable through the Rage, especially. Curse of Avernus, you know, you get that little bit of attack speed. Gives him a, I guess, like a scaling potential as well, away. And in long fights, I suppose, gives them a way to potentially lock down a lifestealer.
Dyer's top tower has fallen.
Yeah.
Not sure how much auto-attacking he's going to be doing, to be honest.
I mean, this Alchemist is a massive problem.
They're beating on Dyer's top tower.
That's what it is when you pick an Alchemist last. It's the whole emphasis of the draft, and he just passed the 1,000.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Guys, if you remember your predictions for your compendiums, he has now reached the 1,000, so if you didn't put that...
Yeah, he thought EG would stop picking Alchemist after the many disastrous Alchemist performances they've had so far. Mm-hmm. Try to pull up that IO, but Crit, pesky as ever, just gonna be away. Haven't really seen much out of this Slark, to be honest, Giannis. He was given an Aegis. He is 5-2 and 3 now, but still nowhere near shutting down the Alchemist. The supports are struggling, but they can catch up, at least one of them, quite a bit later with the Aghanim Scepter. And, I mean, frankly, like, they're not stopping the cores, really, from farming that much at all. Which is a bigger concern.
Yeah, I mean, they can kill off the supports, they can kill off everybody from the side of EG, but yeah, it's the Alchemist who is the big problem. They need to pretty much kill everybody and then isolate him, and then it's still pretty tough for them to actually bring him down. It's like, everybody needs to kind of just be focusing on him, and it still might not even be enough because of how farmed he really is. Like, he's gonna have the Shivas already finished up, too.
The good news is he's running out of things. There's a silver lining, that's probably it. I think we mentioned it, canceled to get the Ags a while ago, and into the Blink Dagger, now back to the Shotgun. And late game Marana with a full 6-7 slot kit, that is a lot of potential single target, either going back into physical damage with the Slaughter amp to back you up, or just even doubling down and going to put that Dagon 5 kill. But either way, does have plenty of room to scale. I guess that's my question is, do you think Complexity can drag this out? Like, and if it goes super late, do they then have the advantage?
It definitely is potential. They make it to a super late point just because of the options of their heroes. They can kind of like weave in and out of the fights over and over, and that could be their potential because of underfarmed most of the heroes on EGR. So maybe there's a potential of like a super late game for them, but right now it's it's definitely way too hard for them to do.
EG's job like not to let them even get there.
Yeah. Not to speed too much and then be able to just get Aegis and break all the towers and claim control, at least with this Alchemist. But yeah, definitely at like a super late game potential, Complexity can weave in and out of the fights and clean up everybody and isolate the Alchemist in a way. That's quite a ways away from now.
Talent does have the Shivas, as you mentioned. So, but they only have mood shards that he could grab, or maybe trade something out like an AC, get rid of that hard.
Yeah, more than likely get rid of that and then grab something. I'm not sure if AC could be pretty easy just to break high ground, but I think
oh, that was a quick two-shot. This left track. Not feeling like a hero anymore. ZG chasing, confident to move forward. Z-Freak does have a crush ready. Could be a 3-4 hero crush. He's just gonna swap out an amp damage. See Mal immediately starts sprinting after him. G now wrapping up the concoction. I'm gonna find anyone to latch on to. Self-stun.
They did see that
coming in. Oh, just misses the Darkseer.
They see that Z-Freak didn't port back ace there though, so that's a big tell. Like when he charged him, it didn't show him in base, it showed him at that tier 1 tower bottom, so they're like, okay, Complexity's definitely trying to still just fight in the area, so they all just kind of chill there too, outside of EG.
lot of dancing. Unfortunately, this means Slark not farming, whereas Alchemist with his illusions constantly.
EC finished up now on RTZ, and Sumail's already on his way toward that first agonist for either Universe or Zai.
Shotgun, meanwhile, completed for the Mirana, and it gets IO. This is basically an instant kill if they can find crit. Even the Spirit Breaker, the Dark Seer, will come pretty close to dying, and they want to pipe the field. This Universe trying to work on one. It's still going to be a while before the full pipe is completed, so a decent window here from Mirana. The big impact is
Dire's bottom tower is fallen.
Aggressively sieging this tower, goes for a quick, short duration stun on Siegfried. Siegfried continues to sprint. Back away, Monkey's there to help him. Meanwhile, Dying Sharky is going to isolate the cancel, tries to bring him down, and Moonlight Shadow. Money committed. He's down into a beautiful bang. The Universe able to interrupt that one. Then they put him down. Defensive goes in, trying to escape, and he's going to right side. The Universe is down. About to be a fourth Monkeys forever. Already committed his ult.
Triple kills, cracks, and Dire's top tower.
He's still quite healthy. They do get the IO, but isn't.
Dire's bottom tower always did get short shrift. They're beating on Dire's top tower.
There's just no way they can kill him. Yeah, there's actually no way now. This is the timing window for
Dire's structures are fortified.
They've got a 6-slotted Alchemist.
Dire's bottom
This is where
tower
they can
needs
just
some
siege the
help.
base and close this game out for sure.
Dire's bottom tower has
more than
shattered.
Mirana and Slark combined to say nothing.
Bottom
Their other
barracks are
cores
under
still doing
attack.
quite well in
Dire's
their own
bottom
right.
barracks have
If they mow
fallen.
down the melee range to the range bottom, I mean, game looking quite close to over, Yanni. Heading into game 2, what kind of adjustments are you making for complexity? That's just the way they changed it. It's pretty thin this one.
I mean, this is like Alchemist versus the world, kind of in a way. There's actually no, they just can't deal with him at all. I mean, they banned the Storm last
Dire's
time,
middle
which is
tower
definitely a good ban
isn't going to
because
last
they didn't
long.
down really for him. So you can't really blame them for doing that, but what's worse, right?
What's worse is
Dire got Dire's middle tower.
All the while. I think they're gonna find swindles here momentarily.
Double kill.
It's a fleeting
Seconds.
effort by him, and he will go down. Meanwhile, Monkey's up to finish up.
Monster kill. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
These heroes that ramp up in a fast manner. That's exactly what Alchemist does. He farms
Dire's middle barracks are taking fire, which
and the Slark is able to just get non-stop picks. Sumail just, yeah, he just feels he can just run it. He doesn't care.
Yeah, they already gave someone an egg, so I didn't actually get.
Gave it to Universe, yeah.
You can't really blame
bad things
like,
happen
for not
to Dire's
anybody
middle
else though, because it's like so bad for EG the last like month.
Dire's middle barracks have fallen.
Reason though to not like. I mean,
I love
it's a
the
last pick Alchemist. Though.
I love the fact that they're still running it, but like if I'm complexity, I'm not really expecting EG would want to run out, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, that's where they get you, and I like the fact that EG is being stubborn and not just giving up on it, because it keeps their drafting options open heading into the main event. You know, with the format we have for this event, it feels like this group stage is almost, if not more, about mind games and kind of setting the stage for drafts in that main event. It's at least, if it's not only about that, it's definitely more so about that.
I mean, if you want to be a tier 1 team in any manner, you have to be able to play Alchemist. I mean, the hero is pretty ridiculous, especially at the last bit. Like, you can see how the damage potential he's unkillable. He died once when he wasn't online at all. He's online and let's just fighting. Not even just an uphill battle. Just
They're trying to scale the long side of it's not looking great for them. Sumail going up on the one side of the match. Just a big bucket of gold for them. It's canceled. Just really trying to bring down crit. Arrow, though, could be tanked by Zai. That is a sign of friendship here.
Killing spree.
Next, but this one was Sumail mauled by the Spirit Breaker and little karate chop. Easy kill. The tears will flow. Pretty solid. It's still a full HP off. Basically killable.
Double kill.
Nice 2 hero catch.
Double kill.
At some point.
Dire's middle tower isn't going to last long.
Excellent.
Yeah, I think they're probably just like thinking about the next game already. Like, yeah, we should probably just ban their fourth alchemist. Not have to deal with something like that. I actually don't.
Maybe run it.
Or maybe they
you can see them run.
I think they have the right. I can't look at play. He plays in clubs. His big three, I think,
Dyer's
right now.
middle tower just went down.
Yeah.
Dyer's middle tower just went down. Dyer's ancient is under attack. Radiant victory!
No, they don't have a Meepo player. Because that's the one other hero I know a lot of analysts have talked about. Like, Meepo's actually a good counter to Al, because